Listen, we'll talk a little bit about Jesse Lingard now, because I was away when the news broke, and I can't lie, it shocked me. When I saw that he signed for Nottingham Forest, it shocked me. I thought the reports that he was going to MLS, I thought, okay, makes sense. That's probably Jesse. But then if not, I thought it would only be West Ham, and that'd be it. Maybe Newcastle, but it looked like it would be West Ham. The fact that it's 1 year at Forest shocked me. I didn't see that coming.
Well, you put a tweet out, didn't you, from your sunbed and said, what's the motivation? But I think this is divided opinion. It's divided opinion even in talkSPORT Towers, because I was quite outspoken about it with Sam during the week. So too was Simon Jordan on Twitter. I think Dean Saunders was coming down in my camp. So was Alan Brazil. But then you heard Faye Carruthers on her show last night putting up quite a staunch defence of Jesse Lingard and the reasons why he might have gone to Nottingham Forest. For me, take the money out of it, and I do think it, overall it's financially motivated. I've got information to suggest that. I just don't understand why he's not gone back to West Ham. It's a no-brainer for me.
It fits.
If you look at Jesse Lingard's career in the last couple of years, the only place that he's found a home and been able to express himself and produce the football that we know he's capable of is at West Ham, under a manager in David Moyes, who absolutely adores him. I know David Moyes has taken it quite personally that this transfer hasn't happened. It's a World Cup year. If he'd gone to West Ham and he'd managed to find the type of form that he had when he was there on loan, I think he would have put himself in contention for a place on the plane for Qatar. I'm just not sure that will happen at Forest.
It's a surprising one. If I give you a bit of context, I remember having conversations when Jesse went to West Ham. Now, if you can remember at the time when he went there, we know Jesse's been obviously quite eccentric. He's always out there. He likes to do his TikToks. And listen, I've got no problems with that whatsoever, as long as you're backing it up on the pitch. If you can remember, when he went to West Ham at that time, we was in lockdown. There was no distractions. All he could do was focus on playing football, and he showed his absolute best form. He goes to now. I think he's wasted another year last season. He's not played. He's took a step backwards, in my opinion, by not playing football, missing a whole year. Yep. I thought what he'd want to do is, right, it felt good at West Ham. The players obviously loved him in the dressing room. The manager loved him. Supporters loved him. He got himself back in the England squad. I don't understand why you wouldn't want more of that. Now, this is nothing against Nottingham Forest. It's a great football club, great history. But signing a 1 year as well, I just don't get it. West Ham already made. They're in Europe. I know it's the conference, but they're in Europe. Had a really good season last season. The players love you. Why would you not want that again? Like, listen, no disrespect to Nottingham Forest again, but they could be in a relegation battle all the next season. So why would you choose a Nottingham Forest over where? If it's money orientated, I get it. It's up to the players. If they want to earn as much as they can, that's up to them. I've been there before myself. But come on.
The thing is, we don't know. We can speculate. Of course, we can speculate. It is a lot of money that Nottingham Forest are paying. I believe they've got a year option, Crookie, as well. So he signed a year and they have the year option on him. I believe I'm right. I think I read that somewhere. I don't think Jesse could have won unless he went to West Ham. I think everything else he's in a lose position in terms of everyone talking about it. I think if he went to America, I heard a lot of people saying he's ending his career now.
But if he got to Newcastle?
If he's gone to Newcastle, people would still question it. It's about money, absolutely. And I think
they pulled out of the race quite early because of the wage demands.
Yeah, he's going to play every game at Nottingham Forest. Barring injury, he's going to play every single game. Now, you can speculate now that he won't get on the plane for the World Cup because he's at Nottingham Forest. He's a little bit disrespectful to Forest, because if they do start shocking people and come November they are sitting around 10th, who knows? Like, we've seen that happen before, and it's solely down to Jesse Lingard, or a lot down to Jesse Lingard scoring. He'll get 12 to 15 goals if he plays every game, in my opinion. I'd certainly think that'll be their main man. It's a lot of money, and that's the question mark, because it's been so public that he's been offered X amount more than he has been at West Ham. I think a lot of people would have leaked that because West Ham wanted him to sign for them.
They thought it was down at one stage.
Exactly. And look, I'd have liked to have seen him go back to West Ham. In fact, I'd have liked to have seen him stay at West Ham and not go back to Manchester United. But he's picked Nottingham Forest, and I don't think anyone can begrudge him that.
Do you know what? I've got nothing. I know Jesse. Great guy, really good character. My only thing is he didn't play last season, and you'll notice yourself, Daz. Missing pre-season, going into a new club is hard.
It's huge.
It's hard. When I think back to my career, my best seasons where I had full pre-seasons when I'm at it. My worst would be Fulham, where I didn't have a pre-season. And I obviously went into it sloppy. I scored on my debut for Fulham, but that was more adrenaline than anything. I still wasn't as sharp as I'd have liked to have been. You look at Jesse now, spent a large chunk of last season, didn't play. He's missed games now. If he'd have done this at the start of the window, he would have had all pre-season with his new teammates. He could have got his sharpness back. Going into this Premier League season, like, I'm ready to go. But you could do as much training as you like in the gym, on the training pitch. You can't get match fitness by not playing matches.
No, I agree with you. But then I look at when he went to West Ham, he'd come off the back of hardly playing again at Manchester United, went to West Ham, and everyone there said he was the fittest player there. So he's clearly naturally fit as a player, but you can get rustiness, and the older you get, you can get match rustiness. Of course you can. 29, 30, I think. So maybe he'll need a few behind closed doors games. I'm sure they'll put him on.
I hope so.
Put them on at the training ground. So I certainly think he'll be a massive success at Nottingham Forest. Again, I could be eating my words come the end of the season. Will that be enough to get him on the plane to the World Cup? Who knows? It depends how Nottingham Forest plays, certainly.
Do you know what I will say is, as well, as you said then, you were right. He went to West Ham without playing many games, but adrenaline. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. He scored 2 on his debut, didn't he? So again, that kind of propels him. Whatever kind of rustiness that he had, that goes out the window. When you're scoring goals, that's all forgotten about.
I just think with us in the media as well and pundits, I think the only time Jesse would have got praise if he had gone to West Ham. Every other club that he'd have chosen, it would have been financially based, or he's going to end his career in America. So, look, he's had criticism, he's had a lot of media hype around him for a long, long time. So he's just made the decision, and I hope it works for him.
I'd just like to say, nothing I've said about this transfer is in any way disrespecting Nottingham Forest. They're a fantastic football club. They've been out of the Premier League for too long, in my opinion. I think in Steve Cooper, they have one of the most talented up-and-coming coaches in the country.
Yeah, agreed.
And they've backed him. 11 in, might be 3 or 4 more still to arrive as well. And this is a statement signing by Nottingham Forest. I hope it works out. Yeah,
I think on the flip side, as you said, Crookie, if it's a football club like Forest, who seem to have come under a bit of criticism over this transfer, if they don't make, and like we look at Bournemouth and Fulham, but Bournemouth in particular, you're saying they're not having a go. They're going to go straight down. These signings that Nottingham Forest are making, particularly Lingard, you're looking thinking, well, they're having a go. They've potentially got a chance of staying in the Premier League, if not doing a little bit more. So I think it's a good signing for Forest. It might be financially based, of course, for Jesse to go there.
I don't begrudge anyone doing that.
Absolutely not. And look, people could say £30,000 a week more. Why does he need that? He's a multi-millionaire. That's £1.5 million a year. Like, no one's going to turn that down.
I'd imagine there's these conversations going on, when people are saying, well, why is Darren Bent leaving the boot room?
Exactly.
What's his motivation?
I know me and you talk about that.
Honestly, what's your problem? What is I hope it works out for him, isn't he? We know how good he can be. We've seen it when he went to West Ham for that brief spell. They have got a top quality player. Can he get himself back in England squad? It's going to be difficult because you look at what he did for West Ham. I think he got himself back in the squad, but when it came to the major tournament, Gareth left him out, didn't he? He said no, even though he was playing as well as anyone. So,
that ship may have sailed, I think.
The most important thing for Jesse, I think, is to get himself back on the pitch and playing games consistently.
And enjoying it.
That's the bit
when he's enjoying it, he plays well. And that may have come into his head about England, and he may think, we don't know if he's had a chat with certain people, his advisors. He may think, look, no matter what I do, I'm not going to get in there. So I'm picking a club that I feel I'm going to enjoy the most. And if that's because there's a bit more money involved, so be it.
I wonder what the gap would have been. I mean, you might know Crookie more than I would, but in wages between West Ham and Forest, was it massive?
I don't think it's as big as has been reported in some quarters, but I think there's a very lucrative survival bonus if he helps Forest stay up at the end of the contract, which clearly West Ham wouldn't be offering because they don't believe they're part of the relegation
will be worth
picture.
It for Nottingham Forest if they end up staying up, and it's helped by Jesse Lingard. That bonus there will be worth it.
How will United fans remember him for his time there? Because I played with Jesse at Derby.
Yeah. Well, he scored the winner in a cup final.
Yeah.
For his hometown club, the club that he grew up supporting. So that's a nice story. I think if he left a year ago, he may well have been more fondly regarded by United fans. I think there is a school of thought, and maybe not his own fault, because United, I know, made it very difficult when Newcastle in particular were trying to sign him in January for him to go, but I think he probably did outstay his welcome.